Hi, I'm Paula, food technician in Legalego. In this video, we will clarify if food supplements are good for our health and which ones are the best. First of all, what are food supplements? Food supplements are foodstuff intended to supplement the normal diet. They consist of concentrated sources of nutrients with a nutritional or physiological effect, and they must be marketed in dosage form. Some examples of food supplements might be multivitamins, minerals, plant extracts, melatonin, caffeine, etc. Food supplements can be a good complement to a healthy diet, but they never should substitute a healthy lifestyle. Are protein powders a food supplement? I'm sure you know a lot of people that consume protein powders, but are they actually a food supplement? There's no specific criteria to classify a food product as a normal food or as a food supplement. However, limits on additives change depending on the category. Also, some countries such as France or Portugal consider that if the product is not provided in small unit quantities, that is, around 25 or 30 grams per day, that won't be a food supplement. Therefore, for companies selling food supplement, it's very important to know to which category its product belongs in order to comply with all the specific limitations and prevent it from being rejected by the authorities. How important are food supplements in our diets? In some particular cases, food supplements are very important or even mandatory. Let's see some examples. First of all, vegetarian and vegan diets. Vegan diets are healthful and nutritionally adequate. However, they do lack one specific nutrient, that is, vitamin B12. Supplementation with vitamin B12 is mandatory for vegetarian and vegan diets. Athletes with high requirements. Athletes with a high training load might find difficulties to achieve their nutritional requirements. In these cases, protein powders or carbohydrate supplements might be very useful. Patients with cancer or other diseases associated to malnutrition. These patients sometimes find very tough to achieve to their nutritional requirements as they lose appetite due to the medical treatment. Therefore, food supplements can be an option. Pregnant women. Supplementation with vitamin B9 or folic acid is mandatory for pregnant women. Folic acid contributes to the closure of the neural tube and thus prevents spina bifida. Supplementation with folic acid is mandatory for pregnant women and highly recommendable for women seeking pregnancy. Top 5 supplements that I would recommend as a nutritionist. First of all, creatine. Creatine increases performance in high-intensity interval training and in sports involving short and intense stimuli. It is a safe supplement with a lot of scientific evidence, especially indicated for sports such as CrossFit, basketball, athletics, football. This is probably the first supplement that I would recommend. Omega-3. Omega-3 is a polyunsaturated fatty acid that contributes to the good functioning of the cardiovascular system and the brain. In foods, it's found in fish, flax and chia seeds, and nuts. Vitamin D. Vitamin D intake through the diet is very little. Mainly we obtain it through sun exposure. To maintain adequate levels of vitamin D, we need sun exposure of around 30 minutes a day, having at least 20% of our body exposed. However, sometimes this might be very tough, especially in winter. Vitamin D supplementation is useful to raise vitamin D status in people with low levels. Ashwagandha. This is a relatively new supplement, but it's giving very good results. It is an adaptogen that comes from a plant, Withania somnifera, and it is especially indicated for people with sleep disorders or in times with high stress levels. Beta-alanine. Similarly to creatine, it's especially indicated for sports that involve short and intense stimuli. A curious fact, consumption of beta-alanine gives paresthesia, that is, a feeling of tingling, generally in hands. This is not harmful, but you must take it into account. I hope you have found this information useful. If you have any questions, do not hesitate to ask, as we will be pleased to help you.